Today, we're excited to present a rare, never-before-heard speech by the legendary Bill Howard, reflecting on the life and legacy of Vince Gironda. The Vince's Secret Locker book series brings these memories back to life through meticulous research and dedication. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram for more exclusive, never-before-heard audio and content. So, let's get to it.
Vince was unique and rare because I met the gentleman without all the fanfare and the dues you usually have to pay to meet Vince. I had been in bodybuilding for quite a time. I had a body when I brought it to Vince, as puffy and bulgy as they were in those days. I had been taking second place continuously for about 3 years in a row. As a matter of fact, the audience was even getting upset with it. And probably because they were tired of seeing me and wanted me to win and get me the hell out of there. But I walked into Vince, and what I had done is got a spreadsheet of all his poses. And I went into my room and I copied and emulated every pose that Vince ever did. And I even bought a pair of leopard skin trunks. I went down to Vince and I walked in and I said, "Vince, I'm Bill Howard. I understand and I believe that you're the greatest poser in the world. And I believe I have the potential to become very good at posing." That's all he said. And that's all I said. And he says, "Well, let's go see what you had." Nick, Goldie, and a couple other guys and myself went back into the shower and I did his posing routine. And to say the least, he loved it because it was all him, everything I did. And when I did a profile like this, that was Vince Gironda, I understand. I have a nose like that. We respected each other because I too was a trainer. I've been a trainer since probably the year after I started training, which is now about 47 years. And to this day, I find myself in the gym doing the things, emulating what the master did. The form, the carriage, the presentation, the class, the uniqueness of the presentation of the physique was all Vince Gironda, because before Vince came along, there were a bunch of big guys doing this. But after Vince got there, you did this, and you did that. And you learn how to do things correctly and uniquely and as a champion. Well, Vince worked with me for about a year. I went down to Mexico to get into the, I forget what the name of the show was down there at the time. Eddie Sylvester was running it. And he sent me down there, and what I didn't tell you was I was 37 years old already when I came to Vince. And back in the 60s and early 70s, when you're in your 30s, your career as a bodybuilder was just all over the hill. There wasn't much to go for. The people who were going for the world titles and the national titles, they were a different set of bodybuilders. I was still a part of the old school. I hadn't gotten into the drug usage at the time. I didn't know anything about the raw bodybuilder. Being as old as I was getting desperate to win my first place. Well, getting down into Mexico at any rate, I walked in to a dining room like this where all the contestants were sitting with their girlfriends and family. And I came in, I sat down by a table, and one of the Mexican gentlemen said to me, "Bill," he says, "aren't you kind of old for this?" I said, "Yeah, I've been around a while." So we went over, a couple hours later, we went over to the gym, we started stripping down. And the same groups that were standing there were next to me over there, and one Mexican boy said to the other, says, "Well, I wonder who's going to take second." It was very obvious when I took my clothes off that I wasn't the flabby, fat Bill Howard of old. You talk about sissy squats. I was a sissy squat master. I loved sissy squats. I was the only guy that ever came into that gym that loved sissy squats. Because it took my big, thick powerlifting legs and it slashed them. And I did have a knack for posing, and I was getting polished by the master. And when I went out to present, I was a totally different person. And from that day on, it was first. It was first. It was first. It was first. And it was always first. But I never had to hear those 5 magic words from Vince to be his friend. Get out of my gym. He was the master. He is the master. There isn't a bodybuilder today that finishes off for a contest that cannot thank the master. Because when Vince was competing, and if you see the pictures when he was competing, everybody next to him was a porker, we used to call him. They all had 18, 19, walk out there and do his thing and take you into a different world of art appreciation. That is what I got from the man.